Hello, I'm Tim Krul. Welcome to Norwich City Central.
Hello everybody, Lewis here and welcome back to the Norwich City Central podcast. I hope you're all doing well and welcome to another episode of the Game Changer series. In this series I talk to people connected to Norwich City Football Club and the wider world of football and sport and share their interesting stories and perspectives. It was fantastic to have Josh on, better known on YouTube as Fusion Josh, to share his story and to talk about football vlogging, the pros and cons of it, tips on YouTube, football and a lot more. I hope you enjoy.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Norwich City Central podcast. I hope you're all doing well. Lovely weather outside at the moment and I'm joined by Fusion Josh. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. It's the weather.
It's
bloody
boiling,
isn't it?
Absolutely boiling outside.
I mean,
yeah.
us Brits can't handle it, can we, mate?
Nah, we all cry for like the hot weather, and now it's like it comes. It's like, okay, can we like calm it down a bit? That's how it works.
Yeah, how have you been kind of adjusting to lockdown, mate? It's been weird times, isn't it?
It's been weird, but for me actually, it's been great. I mean, that might come out as a shock, but you know, I've got a really good routine in myself, daily routines. I've now got a job. I've lost so much weight, which I'm very pleased about. I do fitness like every single day. I'm kind of addicted to that now, which is a great thing. YouTube wise, my figures aren't the best, which is demotivating in that sense, but it's actually the most enjoyable I've actually been on YouTube. Now everything collectively together. I miss my girlfriend. That's the one thing I do miss. Now overall, so I'm really good, positive, and yeah, I'm doing well, mate.
Yeah, it's a really good point you make actually with the rhythm and structure. I think I had a guy on the podcast earlier on, and that kind of rhythm and structure is so important. And yeah, I'm doing exercise as well, and my views are down as well. But as I said, I'm kind of really enjoying the content I'm making. And I think that's the most important thing. As long as you're happy and in a settled routine, it's really good.
100%.
So talk a bit, if people don't know, I guess, what do you do on YouTube, mate?
Oh, what do I do? Right, a mixture of things. So mainly I go, right, nowadays, this season, I've been doing a lot more ground hopping, so ticking off the 92. I've been abroad once, if you want to count Scotland, that's twice. Now I've been to Lazio and Rangers. I've been to a few Scotland games actually this season, and no, I'm mainly like recording the experience of everyone in 92, whether that's good or bad. Where I go to, we see if it's good or bad. Bundle up the money, the cost, experience, atmosphere. We bundle it into one video, and hopefully, it gets a good match day experience out for you guys.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. And how are kind of you going forward adjusting your content, because it's kind of hard times for a lot of people who create football content. How are you going to find kind of adjusting the content?
Well, I've changed up in terms of, obviously, the only thing I've kind of got to do is sit down videos, sitting on this chair, putting the camera in front of me, where realistically I like to take that camera and, experience, football games around the country. But, I've done a lot of ranking videos. I've done a lot of, I've done a debate with Alex Griffin before the Norwich Ipswich game, which I'm sure we'll go on about very soon.
Definitely.
Of course. I swear you want to have a go at me at something I said in that video. No, I'm adjusting well. I'm really motivated. I'm really pleased with how everything's going, other than the views. That's the only downside of the thing. But I'm really enjoying YouTube right now, and it's the most enjoyable I've ever experienced because of probably the Offsiders, which we'll probably get onto very soon too.
Well, no, it's a perfect time to plug the Offsiders.
Yeah, probably.
Plug away, mate.
Plug away. Well, if you haven't guys
like
subscribed to the Offsiders, link in the description. Subscribe to my channel, link in the description. I hope. I don't presume. But no, make sure you smash like this video and subscribe to Norwich City Central. That's what you got to do.
Top man. No, talk about Offsiders. Go for it, mate.
Right, Offsiders.
So
basically, we're all bored and we decided to create a group. And it's all going to be football based, other than a few videos coming up. Actually, there's a few videos in lockdown which will be coming up, which are not going to be
preview. Keep the viewers hooked. I love it.
Yeah, like we're gonna kind of just wanted to express the wide range of content, whether that's us being out and about, but in a good sensible way, of course. Football content, ranking videos. We do podcasts now. But our plans for when football returns is ridiculous. I'm really excited for it, and no one on YouTube has actually ever made like a football content creating group. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes, especially when there will be times where people will go to their own clubs, and there will be times where other people go to like myself go to ground hopping games where we'll record that for the Offsiders. But it's not just going to be me. It's not like an individual channel where we upload like my vlog and his vlog, etc. It's going to be either everyone in one video. It's going to be like a full-on group channel, which I'm really excited about, and it's an exciting project. nearly at 2,000 subscribers in like the first month and week or so. So that's great in itself.
Yeah,
that's great in itself. And I think the content we're producing right now is really good. Happy with it. The graphics are good. I think we've got a whole good structure with it. Like we've all got roles, assigned roles for how the Offsiders will work, how it will run. And it's going well, and I'm excited for the future of the channel.
No, good luck with it, Josh. Good luck with it.
Thank you.
In this kind of podcast, I wanted to talk a bit about your kind of football vlogging journey. But firstly, I mean, one of the questions came in earlier. How did you become a Brighton fan? Because Ollie Grimmer asked that. Why do you live in the east of England and become a Brighton fan? And I get the same thing myself, mate. I'm currently in Kent and, of course, a Norwich fan. But yeah, how are you a Brighton fan living in the east of England?
Yeah, no, it's a really frequently asked question. Even yesterday, I got asked that from one of the guys in the Offsiders. Like, my dad was born from Brighton. From like the age of 9, I got brought up to be a Brighton fan. But we lived in Norwich. Not Norwich, like lower stuff. I don't want to sound so specific, but around the most easterly point in the UK, if you don't know, lower. So it was all my dad. He just brought me up to be a Brighton fan. First game 2009, Colchester away. We won 1-0, and I think my dad actually said I didn't really enjoy it, but then again, he was wrong. I went to more games, went to the Whitdean, and then again went home and away.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, same here. It was my dad. So I think sometimes people get so bogged up in the location, but it really can be family. And we definitely can't be accused of being glory hunters with the clubs.
Exactly.
We support,
like you can't accuse us of that. Like Brighton, we haven't got any history. Yeah, we bottled the championship. We've only won like the League One title. Like what's like glory hunter in that sense? But yeah, no, as you said, it's family. And all my family are down south. We're literally the only side of the family to live this far up and easterly in this in this part of the country, which is really weird. But I'm sure very soon we'll be moving down south, to be honest.
Yeah, nice one. And yeah, what inspired you to become a football vlogger then, mate? And how did it all start for you?
It's a weird one, because you probably see now with Theo and I's friendship, Fogden, if you don't know. He was a main inspiration to me. We wanted to start football vlogging from a young age, and also Vizza, Burnley, but he used to be a Burnley vlogger. He's now like a FIFA YouTuber. Their two vlogs I kept watching every single week when they uploaded it, and it just really made me want to upload vlogs of my style, going to Brighton, recording experience in that kind of similar style. And it got to a stage where it was actually going really well for me. And this is probably gonna sound the most obviously like oh, surprised you're starting vlogging now. I started vlogging when we were kind of winning games and we were going up from the Championship to the Premier League. So there was no connection to that, because I did it at the start of the season. But I've really enjoyed it. When I first started, Theo and Vizza were the main inspirations for myself to start. And I don't regret it. I'll tell you that now. The creativity I love to do, and the editing, I love it. I just love everything about YouTube, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a great chance to be creative, isn't it, mate?
Yeah.
Whenabouts did you start then? How long have you kind of been doing it for?
My channel started in 2016, but I didn't start vlogging until about 2017. January area, probably.
Yeah. And you said how Theo Fogden was a great inspiration. He's gone on to do incredible stuff in the football vlogging community, and you're good friends with him. How proud are you to kind of see him like in the strength and the journey that he's gone on? Because
it's unbelievable. Like I started being friends with him when he was around 15k. I can remember. But just from there, we've been supporting each other, and still to this day, he supports me, till the day I die. And that's what I really respect about him, because a lot of people would have just, he's got 250k. I've got 18k, 17, 18k, and you'd have probably thought I'll sack him off. I've got my own friends in the 100k area. But this guy is unbelievable. Like, he's the most respected friend I've got. Like, he's unbelievable. My main inspiration YouTube wise, and I've only got positive things to say about that bloke, because the commitment he puts into his own YouTube channel, the quality of his videos, the way he's smashed out in the football YouTube scene has been unbelievable, and I'm really proud of him. If you're watching this, I'm proud of you, mate.
Top man. I know he's done amazing. And kind of going on to football vlogging, when you started, how did you feel kind of when you first released those first videos? Was there quite nerves, or was there a lot of excitement when you started?
It was a bit nervous, because obviously, to be fair, actually, I'm going to change it up a bit. When I first started, I was so confident. I was actually really confident, putting my camera up. Where's my camera? Putting my camera up like this, like as I am. But it to be fair, I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like my confidence vlogging has actually gone down since then because I feel
really?
Because I feel like the anxiety side of things, of people knowing who I am, like seeing me record, is like he might know me from this. I don't know. It's a mental factor, which is kind of bad, but it's one which I have to kind of cope with. But no, it's weird because I started, was really confident, but I feel like it's decreased, and still to this day I still feel like that. It's kind of decreased, but the enjoyment's still there. Don't get me wrong, but I've improved since then. I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so anyway. Because to be fair, the first few vlogs I recorded, I was wearing a jester hat, so I'm so thinking about that right now baffles me to even question how I even got that on my head in the first place. But no, yeah, it's an interesting story how it all started, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. And then obviously you were doing the Brighton vlogs, and now more recently, as you say, before we had the camera on, you've been ground hopping and things like that. What's that experience been like?
The experience has been unbelievable because, like, being, you obviously got the associators with one club, but going out to these different clubs really does give you a perspective of what the other fans are in the country, like who are the good fans, who are the bad fans, who are the tin pot fans, what's the good stadiums. Like, I would never have gone to Rangers, this season. I would have never gone to like teams like, Morecambe. Like, where's Morecambe? Who are Morecambe?
No idea.
I went to Morecambe. So so it's ticking off these sort of clubs, and ticking off the 92 is one I've always wanted to tick off the bucket list. So I'm about 56 of the way through now, and whenever football starts,
Wow.
I'll hopefully try and complete it. I'm loving football, mate. I'm missing it. That's the main thing.
It's so good, and when you watch it on the TV, you just don't get that experience when you go to the ground. You don't get all the moments with the fans and just that atmosphere. It's really what makes it.
And that's kind of why I do YouTube too, and especially football vlogs too, because a lot of people just see it from the TV. A lot of people can't go to the games, and like recording that experience, and people can just search up onto YouTube like an hour after the game, like, I don't know, Swindon versus Exeter. Match day experience. Whereas this fan, typing it in the search bar is probably in Australia or in a different part of the country right now. So they can have that experience. They can watch on YouTube and experience it like they're there. That's what I'm trying to get out of the videos.
Yeah, definitely. Me too, mate. And I've had so many fans, from Italy, from Brazil, all over the world who've kind of been really thankful of, me being able to film Norwich games, for instance, and really try and bring that experience to life. I think those kind of comments, when you find there's international fans, are particularly the best ones, because it really, it just makes a really immersive feeling for the club, doesn't it?
It touches them very differently, because when I went out to Italy and recorded a Lazio video, it was like I was not expecting to get the interaction of fans on that video ever before in my life. Like, gained. Do you want to talk about that? The Lazio?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, I was going to ask you about that a bit later.
So the Lazio game, I originally went out for 5 days with the family, and we saw Lazio were playing Inter Milan. Big game. Yeah, absolutely meant everything for that one where they're on the table. They won the game. They were 1-0 down, but came back to win 2-1. And I recorded the vlog around, I don't know, uploaded it around 1:30 a.m. or something. And since I uploaded that, it absolutely went mental. And it went all around Rome. I was in a newspaper in Rome like 2-3 days after. It was in like news articles in Lazio. My video was going up and up and up. The real time one out was like 80,000 views. And then unfortunately, it got striked. And that
must be the worst feeling.
It was. I was with my girlfriend in Norwich at the time, and I saw a notification come up, and I saw, you've got a strike, and I was questioning it. I just couldn't talk to my girlfriend for a good hour, because all I was thinking of was the way that video was going up. I had 2,000 new subscribers like in the last week or something. It was ridiculous. The interaction, the love I got from it, and the fact that this is another story too. My uncle's a pilot, and he flew to Rome.
Oh, wow.
And he picked up a paper, and he saw my face on it. So cool. Seeing that in like a different country, and he called up my dad and was like, "Why is your son in the newspaper in Rome then?" And it was so positive. I'm definitely going back. The first football game I actually really want to go to when I'm back is generally Lazio. Like the amount of interaction and love I've had from them is ridiculous, and I think it's only fair. And I was meant to actually be going back to Lazio until all this coronavirus came up. I was meant to go to Lazio versus AC Milan this time.
That'd have been a good one.
It would have been a good one. It would have been a good one, but unfortunately, luckily I got my refunds, obviously. But hopefully we get back to normal soon. But I don't think we will.
No, it could be a while. Yeah, I know away days. He got a lot of love from Portugal and going to FC Porto games. What is it about the kind of these international fans loving almost English fans coming over to the grounds, and because they get so many views and so much love, as you say?
It's more. I've found out that there's so much more passionate European fans. That's something I've experienced, and not just European. When I went to Orlando a few seasons ago, they're so passionate in their football. The chants are very, very debatable, but the passion is definitely there. Like, you get a lot of tourists now and then. Obviously, like, you can class myself as a tourist of that one, but it's a different level. I don't know what it is. But European fans who seem to, love English fans and love other people coming to their stadium, coming to their home, as they like to call it, and, experiencing the match day experience there, and actually coming over to their country, coming over to their city and loving the experience, which I feel like me and Ellis have expressed for myself, Lazio, and himself, obviously Porto, which fair play to him. I love that guy too.
Yeah. Have you been abroad to any other games and documented them? Or
Real Madrid, I was in a VIP thing for a Champions League night. That was when I had around 5,000 subs, but that was probably one of the best videos on my channel, edited-wise, I think. I like to say. I think the videography on that was quite good, so I'm proud of that one. That was Real Madrid versus some sort of, Czech Republic team in the Champions League group stage, but it's unreal, great night. Where else? I've been in Orlando. I've been to another one. I can't remember from the top of my head. I don't know why. Is it around my room anywhere? Oh, obviously, like Rangers and that. If you want to count Scotland. Is that it?
I really want to go to is it the Prague derby?
The Prague derby. I just want to do more derbies around the world, to be honest. And I know Fear's been doing that, but it's something I really want to go around doing too. I was meant to be going to Dortmund versus Schalke, the one we played the other day, obviously. I was meant to be going to that one too. So there's a lot of stuff hindering stuff right now, but when football's back, I'll be doing these sort of games more often.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, I was going to touch on in this video some of the pros and cons of football vlogging. I guess you've spoke about, some of the incredible feedback you've had from vlogging. What other incredible kind of opportunities and benefits have you had from football vlogging, mate?
Well, I went through a period from doing Brighton vlogs where, like, every single week I had a new opportunity come up, which was ridiculous, and I was so thankful for it. So I think my very first one was going on the BBC. I was just recording an interview on how Chris Hewitt and Glenn Murray was doing for like a Premier League video on their channel, obviously, and that was very good. I met Glenn Murray there. I had an interview on like Worthing Pier, based near Brighton. So that was my first fantastic opportunity. And then, like, a few weeks later, a few months later, actually, I got an email saying, like, about being on BT Sport, and I'm like,
wow.
I'm like. For me being a 17-year-old at the time, or 16, 17-year-old at the time, getting these opportunities was mind-blowing for myself, because you would never have thought about it. I would never thought growing up and starting YouTube I'd be getting these sort of opportunities, and being on BT Sport, that's just not even the best of things which came from BT Sport yet. Like, I was going to be on BT Sport every single week reviewing Brighton's game, whether that's a win, loss or draw, to give like a nice 30-second analysis of the game, and that was my first great opportunity with BT Sport. And then I say about a month or two later after that, BT Sport contacted me again and asked to send me in a question for Bruno, a Brighton legend, to answer live on BT Sport. Me being there, like me being in the corner of the screen, and then Bruno being on here with my name tag. It's like a dream come true in that sense, which was ridiculous. I loved it. And from that BT Sport video, I then got an email like the next week or two asking me to go down to the Brighton training centre and interview 3 Brighton players, Bruno, Jurgen Locadia and Matty Ryan, for Nike Football. And like it was a crazy experience. I scored a penalty against Matty Ryan, so I can say that. I played football in the dome area inside the stadium, which was ridiculous. The whole experience there was amazing. Everything which came together, and it was a long journey, but it was well worth it. I'm so thankful for the opportunity I've gotten. I had an opportunity with Sky Sports, but I was underage. You got to be 18 to be on Sky Sports. I was 17 at the time, so unfortunately I couldn't do that. But hopefully soon, you never know.
Definitely.
Well, I think that's the majority of opportunities I've had, but I'm so thankful for the opportunities I have been given.
And that's why YouTube's incredible, because if you think 10, 20 years ago, it would have just been kind of all the journalists who have gone through, several years of qualifications and stuff, maybe even, family influences. But to have YouTube, it just gives you that another level to have these kind of opportunities. And there'll be a lot of young people who I think there's so many more young people now who want to be YouTubers, who want to be kind of football vloggers. Is that what you kind of recommend if you want an opportunity in football, or if you want an opportunity in fashion, is just to kind of like pick up the camera and make YouTube videos essentially?
I think especially with the mainstream, football and sports are going on right now, they're taking a lot more influencers and YouTubers on board with it, because obviously they see the view side of things on YouTube and they want to bring that to the mainstream. And that's what, and to be fair play to all the mainstream, like they are getting us guys involved to broadcast our opinions on the club, because I feel that's where they see the most passionate fans, and that's probably on YouTube. Obviously not all the passionate fans are on YouTube, but then again, we're the ones showcasing that on film. But seeing from what you were saying about, is it the thing to pick up the camera and doing it yourself if that's what you want to get into? I'd probably say so, but you need to have a lot of confidence for that. That's the thing. Confidence is like massive to do YouTube. And if you've got the confidence, it's not going to come like that. It will take time, because that's how it started with me. I know I said I was confident when I started recording it, but I did have a lot of doubts with it too. But it's all about, growing yourself as a person, enjoying what you do, being confident, and I'm sure with that determination, you can get somewhere in the future with this on YouTube.
Yes, that's some great advice, definitely. And yeah, we spoke about how you've had so many incredible opportunities being a football vlogger. The majority of situations with football vlogging is positive, but do you think there are some negatives with football vlogging? I know you've had a lot of friends kind of in the industry who've had some kind of stuff happen to them. Kind of what are some of the negatives which have kind of happened from football vlogging?
Well, you've got to see the point where not everyone's going to love football vlogging, and that's another mental factor you got. Like when people start, that's probably going to be the first thing in their mind too. Like what are the people who are going to judge me? Like what are these going to think if I'm just holding a camera up? And definitely see that point. And there have been a lot of there's not for myself been a lot of negatives in person. The only one thing I can point out is when I went to Arsenal versus Manchester City. Arsenal are a toxic fan base anyway. You see that on AFTV. Yeah. But where I was in the block, it didn't help where I was in Arsenal, and when I watched Arsenal Brighton, because I couldn't get a ticket in the away end. I started kind of celebrating in the Arsenal Brighton game, but it wasn't enough for people to be around me to start shouting at me. It wasn't enough like that. But what did get him going with that is I uploaded that video, and then the next 2 weeks later, a month later. No, it was 2 weeks later than that. I went back to Arsenal to watch Arsenal Man City. And someone saw me. Someone saw me in the end, and this was near where the Arsenal kind of wannabe hooligans want to sit. And one of them absolutely just levered my name out and just shouted "Get out of our stadium! This isn't your club!" And la 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 la. Started going at me, and everyone was looking at me. I was stopped filming. The anxiety side of myself was I was panicking pretty much. I'm not gonna lie. That's the only time I've only really, I'm not really sure how to say it's a PG terms, but I wasn't in a good state of mind when that was happening. Let's put it that way. So I put my camera down. I respected the fact there, but I've then also said the point where there's a lot of tourists here, and I bought my ticket legitly. Got a membership because my brother's an Arsenal fan. That's why I go. I was trying to be so upbeat with it. I was fine with it, and he just didn't understand. Pretty much, they just didn't understand, and they're all having to go at me. Second half, I changed and went with my friend Babs. Where he's luckily had a spare seat next to him, so sat next to him. But there is negatives to it. But I don't think it is getting worse and worse if you're being honest with it. But it's all about having that confidence in front of the camera. That's all. It's the confidence, and once you've got the confidence.
I think there's a problem with social media in general, though, just this kind of cancel culture. I mean, we were speaking earlier about True Geordie and just how people can suddenly, some of those likable people who have had all this love, and then suddenly just that can be a barrage of hate. I really don't get kind of cancel culture, and it must be. I think that's why you've got to have thick skin if you want to be on social media, because as I say, cancel culture is something that can be very serious.
Yeah, I mean, talking about True Geordie, this was he actually commented, and he tweeted at me actually. This was when Brighton bottled the title, sorry. I was on like all these like Daily Mail stuff and everything about, you know, I was basically big meme in Newcastle. I was in a Daily Mail and I tweeted and made a video about it or something. And I
is
can't
this the
remember
vlog where Brighton were going to win the title and they
that's exactly it. Yeah, that's the exact video, and it got memed around. And then it got to a stage where I made a video and a reaction video on everything which happened. And I can't remember what I said. I questioned a lot of things which I said in the past, which wasn't controversial or anything. It was just like, I don't know, it's just something I wouldn't say nowadays, let's put it that way, because I've matured a lot. But he actually replied to my tweet of sharing the video out, and he just said, you've got to get thicker skin, mate. I can't remember word for word, but I got a screenshot of it. You just got to get thicker skin. And from that moment, like I did get thicker skin, because getting a comment from that sort of YouTuber telling me to, like, in a positive way, good luck on the channel, telling me to get thicker skin was a big boost for myself, actually. You probably think True Geordie he's kind of like disregarding the video, but then again he's actually supporting me. It's like
100%.
Like it was a big boost for me, and it was a big boost of confidence that actually one day I could make it.
Yeah, definitely. But I think overall, to sum up football vlogging, I think you've got to, of course, have confidence and you've got to have thick skin. But there's so many people who love you, and you'll have thousands of good messages, but it will just be that one bad message or that one bad experience which sticks out. But I think if you want to start football vlogging, as you say, you've had so many incredible experiences from it, and just do it. But just be mindful that you've got to have thick skin, but the confidence will come and things like that. But I think it's just appreciating how many incredible opportunities you can get from it.
Yeah, I totally agree. No, like you do get a lot of opportunities with it, but it also comes with hard work. If you put in the hard work, you're determined to make it work and make a future out of it, then it will come. It's just a matter of time, and it does take one video to absolutely go from here to there, and it could like make or break your channel, that one video. So you just got to put in hard work, the editing in it, the video production wise. You just got to put as much effort as you can into it. There's a lot of time which goes into it too, but overall it does pay out, and it's really enjoyable. And this is another thing too. If you don't enjoy it, maybe it's not for you, but you've got to enjoy it. Like if creating's not sort of your thing, and you're kind of forcing yourself to do this, maybe it isn't your thing, and maybe it's another talent. You've probably got another talent in something else. I'm not disregarding that. Give it a go, but you'll find out in like your first few uploads if you enjoy it or not. And a
bit of finance as well, because I think, as you say, in ground hopping, you don't realise, you can see someone gets a lot of views, but really it doesn't particularly pay out. And if you're ground hopping, for instance, you need a bit of finance. Sometimes sponsors, merch sales can be kind of huge in that as well.
Yeah, sponsors help massively. I've only recently been sponsored by OneFootball, but that's kind of gone down the bin now with all this coronavirus. But it was a good 2 month. I think it's only paused. It's still to resume when football's back. But it's finance wise, it's difficult from YouTube. Like, you can have good months, you can have bad months, but overall, like,
overall you say it's been kind of one of the best things you've done, starting a YouTube channel.
100%. If I didn't start YouTube, I generally think I'd be sat here on my PS4 every single hour of my day, really fat, eating, my dietary wouldn't be good, I wouldn't be exercising, I wouldn't be working out, I wouldn't have any sort of rhythm to my day, any schedules. I'd be really bored and compact in this room. Whereas now I've got a schedule, I do Offsiders, I make videos, I'm very, really productive, I go outside, exercise, I'm working out, which everything in my life right now is like perfect, and I'm really thankful for that. And it's all through hard work, and I'm determined to make it work further. I'm not quite there yet. I'm not at all. I've got 18k, but I'm in the right direction. But no, it's going well.
You've done really well, mate. You've done really well.
Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for that. I'm proud. I'm proud of my achievements. I never want to seem like I'm bragging or anything, but I'm proud of what I've done. But I appreciate your comments, mate.
Definitely. No, just a few comments to finish up now, mate.
Of course.
Orson asked favourite Brighton vlog last season. Or maybe favourite Brighton vlog in general.
Great question. Do you know, I've got a few. I've got Palace home, Palace away, beat him twice, Wembley, and the promotion video. The promotion video wasn't very well edited, but it's the capture of myself running onto the pitch, the best day of my life, being a Brighton fan, knowing you're in the Premier League. that was one tremendous vlog I did make, and I'm really proud of. The Wembley one, like, who would have thought Brighton was going to a FA Cup semi-final? No one. I know we kind of got an easy running towards that, but we beat Millwall in, like, on penalties to get to Wembley. It was like it was amazing. But then again, beating your rivals 3-1 at home, with 10 men, your substitute comes on, scores with his first touch from getting a red card, and then beating them at their own backyard, knockout, absolute screamer to win the game. It's like it's mad. But to pinpoint one vlog, this is the ultimate question, isn't it? I would probably say
it's a tough one.
I'm going to say the Wembley one. I'm going to say Wembley. I think for production-wise, the whole day with the mates, before the game, after the game, I'd say Wembley.
Totally, mate, totally. And you touched on the derby day there. You've recently done a video. I think we're going to get. Is it time to get into it?
Of course.
Derby days, obviously, derbies are big things. You've been doing ground hopping. I know your Arsenal-Tottenham video is one which went down really well. Brighton and Palace and Ipswich and Norwich, they get a bit of stick, don't they, mate?
They do get a lot of stick. But I kind of wanted to pinpoint in my video which one was better. And I mean, talking to a Norwich fan right now, you
had Alex Griffin on in that video, and you was obviously debating why the Brighton Palace derby is better than the Ipswich Norwich. Both derbies, obviously, I think get a bit of hate from the kind of traditional media. But what's your kind of opinions on both derbies, then, mate?
Well, Brighton Palace, I think it's underrated. I think it is. I think yours has definitely got so much more history to it. Well, ours is like, some say it's a story, some say it's made up, and I can understand people who say that, but to the fans, it means absolutely everything. Like, I was going to swear, I'm sorry. It means everything. Like, we hate that club. I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't even want to speak to a Palace fan. I know there's a Palace YouTuber, but I just wouldn't speak to him. I just don't like that club whatsoever. Zaha, I despise him to bits. It is everything towards Palace I despise and hate, and that goes for every Brighton fan, and it goes to every Palace fan who hates Brighton. They damage our city, it's everything, and that's probably something I don't understand about the Norwich Ipswich game as much. I mean, I feel like with the Norwich fans, I'm not sure if you can back me up or not. You can budge in if you want, but I feel like the Norwich fans, it's kind of you've got more of an older generation. Is that?
Well, we've got I would say we've got more of an older generation, but I would say in the majority of these derbies, you're going to particularly have the older fans, and I think for Carrow Road, we obviously have the Barclay next to the away end, and it gets
great
really
fans.
heated.
I must admit that Barclay stand is good. I'll give it.
Yeah. So I'd say it gets really heated, and for the away days when we go to Ipswich as well, the majority of people there are kind of younger people singing and chanting. So I definitely say both derbies, I think, have got an atmosphere which is probably underrated in both. And then, as I say, towards Ipswich, there's that real hatred. It's two counties who both absolutely despise each other, and it kind of how the roads go as well. Ipswich and Norwich very rarely link up, so Norwich fans will kind of only go to Ipswich on derby day. So there is that real hatred there as well.
Yeah, I mean, like the same with Brighton Palace. I mean, a lot of people. This is the thing. Like, obviously, you've got a name for your derby, like Old Farm, whatever. But people call us like the M23, and I thought like that's a bit of an unfair comment, especially from Alex, considering you're longer in distance than us by like 1.6 miles, I think it is. So, so I thought I'd bring it up. I thought I'd make a controversial video. I enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed it, and I'm not gonna lie, there is going to be a part 2 on his channel, so that'll be interesting. Yeah, I think there could be 3 parts. One with someone else we all won't mention yet, but yeah, no, it's interesting, but I don't feel we're ever going to come to a conclusion because we're always battling it out to see which one is better. Yours is more of a historic base. You've got county to county. That's always going to be there. Brighton Palace, obviously, it didn't really happen until whenever the managers started arguing at Palace. Brighton manager chucked his change to the Palace fans and said that's how much you're worth, like minimal amounts of pennies. And then from that day, it just kicked off, and there's been absolutely hatred. Palace fans are crazy, like they're just mental. If I'm being honest, it's a crazy underrated rivalry. It's not a derby, it's a rivalry, but it's underrated. I'm telling you, it's underrated. The hostility between the fans is ridiculous, and you see that from the escorts after the game in my Palace away day video. Jesus.
I think what sums up a derby is that atmosphere between the fans. I think you can obviously have a bit of rivalry with the players and distance can kind of play a small part. But I think overall, what makes a derby is the atmosphere and the hatred between the fans.
Agreed.
I would definitely say for both fan bases, there is that hatred there.
Yeah, no, I agree about it. There's definitely hatred towards both derbies.
Yeah. Comment down below what you think the better derby is, and go over to your video, Josh, and be a bit of a debate, won't there?
There will.
Time I agree with Alex Griffin, I think.
Oh yeah, that's probably the only time ever you agree with an Ipswich fan, but
yeah, definitely.
We'll see. To be fair, I'm not gonna lie to you. The outcome of that video has been majority Norwich Ipswich.
Really? I do like your derby, but I think Norwich Ipswich. For me, maybe it's a slight bias, but
we're both going to be biased, aren't we? We're both going to be biased. That's just going to be it.
Definitely. Crispy asks, where do you see Brighton in 5 years' time?
Do you know what? If I told you after this season, if Brighton got relegated, I think in 5 years' time we'll still be a Premier League club. I generally do think. I think we are a club on the rise in terms of everything around it, the stability of the club. The manager's a bit of a debate one right now because we're kind of questioning whether Graham Potter is actually, was he the right fit? We're kind of going through a bad time with the only club in the 92 have not won a game in 2020.
I do like Potter.
A lot of people do, and he's a great manager, but recently he just hasn't been doing it for us, and we haven't won in 2020 yet. It's kind of worrying, but we'll see how it goes. I'd say we'll still be in the Premier League for 5 years. Whether we'll still be in the Premier League, that's a different question. But whether we get relegated and then go back up, the youth system at our club is ridiculous. I think players will stay. Lewis Dunk may move on, and he is a massive defender for us. He's been there.
What youth players are there to watch out for, do you think, in the future?
Aaron Conley, there's Malumbu, Max Sanders. There's a lot of players who will absolutely click in this team. If we do go down, they will have their chance in the Championship to make that work. We have got financial, we have got money to spend. Not lots, but we've got enough to spend on the right players. And I think that's the key thing to get out of that, and that's what actually got us promoted. And Knockout, if he does come back to Brighton and we were in Championship, I do think it'll be the same story again. We will get promoted. I think if we do go down, we'll go back. We'll go back up.
And kind of onto that question, Ducker, you'll know Ducker. Opinions on Chris Hughton. I think Chris Hughton for me is one of those. I mean, obviously he managed both of our clubs, Norwich and Brighton, and he would always seem to kind of get results. But for me, when he was at Norwich, the football he played was dreadful, and he played a big part in our relegation. How would you sum up Chris Hughton? He's done some good things for you.
He's always going to be regarded as a Brighton legend. He's the one.
Wow, really?
Brighton legend, 100%. Like honestly. He's the one who's got us promoted to the Premier League for the first time in our history. Like he is 100% going to be going to be a legend for us. Not only just getting us promoted, but 2 seasons consecutively in the Premier League, the top flight. Small little old Brighton staying in the Premier League for 2 seasons straight now. And yes, he did get the sack last season, but the football, as you mentioned there, was dreadful. It was time for a change. I still agree with that. We needed a new manager. Graham Potter, when we first appointed him, I thought it was the great appointment. The season started and I thought this is it. We beat Watford away 3-0. Tottenham 3-0. Beat Arsenal. That was a
great win, yeah.
It's like this is fully going to plan. Then it just obviously hit its downfall in December, and ever since we just can't win a game.
Mm. Yeah. 2020 definitely hit. I would still say Chris Hughton is, as I said, he's great for getting clubs out of the Championship, but I think if you want to see a good style of football in the Premier League, he's probably not the one. He just doesn't take risks.
He doesn't take risks whatsoever. Everything was so predictable. He just would not make a substitution at all. When all the fans know, right, we need a sub on right now. Didn't do it until like the 85th minute where we were 2-0 down. It was one of them.
Yeah, we know about that.
Yeah, exactly. So. Chris Hughton, I love the guy, but it was time for him to go at that point.
And one final question from the audience. Austin Crook asked, best game experience. I know you've touched on some incredible games, but what would you say was the best game actually being at?
I think
for yourself.
It must be Palace away. I think the whole day to it that
there's nothing better than a derby, is there?
There's nothing better than a derby, but then again, Wembley was ridiculous. Like. Seeing 45,000 Brighton fans at Wembley, like all together, blue and white strips. Oh, it was unbelievable. That day was truly amazing. But beating your rivals, it doesn't compare though. It just doesn't compare. Like it's so much more superior in the moments, especially a knockout winner. Like, come on.
Yeah, that was an amazing goal. I think I recall. It was outside the box, and it was like
outside the box, curled it top left-hand corner off the post. It was send me down the stairs. I'll tell you that, mate.
There's nothing better than incredible limbs.
Limbs. I think that's all the Offsiders boys actually, like, you know, in every video now they always mention, you know, about my videos and how the majority of my videos has limbs in the title. So I love my limbs. Let's put it that way.
Love your limbs. Yeah. One final question, mate. What does football mean to you?
Football means everything. Without football, I'm nothing. Pretty much. I like, kid you not, football is in my blood. I like all around my room is football based. I've got everything in front of me. Football, tickets on my wall. Everything's football. Got football there. You know, everything is football in my brain and in my world. I talk like my majority of my mates are football mates, and you know it's you know, talking about football is amazing. It's not just about talking your own club. It's just talking about football in general. I'll watch any football game. It's maybe a Norwich game. I love going to football, and this is why I do ground hopping, because I love football. You know,
why do people love football so much, do you think, mate? And why has it grown into this incredible thing?
The passion, the atmosphere, you know, everything to do with like a match day experience on football days is ridiculous. I love it. It's, you know, it's unbelievable. Like, no sport compares to football. Like, there's no passion like football. You know, like like rugby, there's no passion. Let's be honest. It's just some people sitting down, you know, clapping, and that's it. That's all it is. Nah, like football does not, like football is in my blood. It's never going out of me. So like this lockdown period with no football is like, it's really tough, but luckily enough I've found a routine to make football content and you know, keep well in myself too. So yeah, no, mate, football is absolutely everything.
I agree, mate. I agree. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast, mate.
No
where can people find you?
People can find me either on Instagram, Fusion_Josh, or you can just find me on YouTube, FusionJosh2, Fusion Space Josh, that is. Yeah, help me reach 18,000 subscribers, and also subscribe to the Offsiders. No, I really appreciate it, mate. I really enjoyed the podcast, good talking points, and make sure you subscribe to this channel right now. You've got to do it. Leave a like on the video too.
Top man, Josh. Thanks for coming on, mate.
No worries.